includes 15 years of extensive experience in security domain. In that, he is a certified by IAC Square, certified CISO associate from EC Council, certified cloud security professional from CSA, certified ISO 27001, lot of certifications. So I'm just limiting myself. So he has a lot of experience in AppSec, SecOps, compliances, ISO 27000, SOC 1, SOC 2, and he's a CSA global volunteer and contributor to several research like AI control matrix, the documents, from CSA. Called Cloud Control Matrix Implementation Guides. I have shared a lot of documents in the group. He has a lot of contribution for the CSA documents. Also security, he is also a security tech talk speaker and a mentor, providing security trainings to college graduates and postgraduate students. So with that, please give him a big round of applause for the second session.
Good morning. So today topic is the ghost in the machine. Am I audible properly? Yeah. The ghost in the machine. You can see the ghost. Picture is not that clear actually because it looks like a ghost only. So exposing secrets, backdoors in enterprise AI agents. So go to the next slide. So today agenda is what is a ghost, why I am saying it is a ghost, and what is the attack surface, from where it is coming, and technical deep dive, how it will be persist, how it happens, and how it will be monitored by attacker, and how it will persist in a longer way. Then couple of case studies like MCP shadow attack and eco leaks, and one demo also I will give about MCP shadow. Demo is very minimal because we can't show you the real agents and all, which will be like organization specific and all. So just to show one dummy script and dummy MCP shadow attack, and exposing the ghost, like how we can detect, how we can provide a defense mechanism against these ghosts, and some conclusion and future outlook. Yeah, next. So when you see this slide, what you see in this slide, which you feel it's good and which you feel it's not good. The slide, this first line, it shows 83% of organizations are adopting AI and they are doing it rapidly. By the way, this is a real research, it is done by our organization only. So 83% organizations are deploying AI agents, using AI, but at the same time only 29% organizations are monitoring them properly, and they are worried about security, or you can say they are having proper security controls in place. So this is a huge gap. This 54-point huge gap is there. What it says, it gives me a dialogue which I saw in Sam Bahadur movie in Hindi. लोग पार्टीशन जब पार्टीशन हैपेंड, लोग पार्टीशन को फील कर रहे हैं पर समझ नहीं रहे हैं. सेम थिंग आई एम फीलिंग हेयर. पीपल आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग, sorry, people are feeling AI but they are not understanding the AI. They are saying, okay fine, AI is there, we should also do. My shopkeeper is having a app using AI, he will find out what all the customers are coming. So I am like a tea maker, I also have to have a AI to make tea. That is not possible, right? You have proper technology, you have everything in place. Everybody should not use blindly AI, but people are doing it. Day and night people are doing it, and they don't know what mistakes they are doing when they are doing AI. Even I am, to be frank, I am not using it very extensively every day, because I use as much is required for my day-to-day job. Not like everything I have to automate using AI only. I have my separate automation framework also. We can do automation with that as well, rather than exposing everything to AI. Of course, in the organizations you have like zero trust controlled environments where you can do your work and everything will be monitored. But it is not always the case, because as a previous speaker told, when your tokens are expired, you keep doing wrong things. Up to some extent it will be monitored by organizations. Few big organizations, they monitor each and everything. Even today, like I try to put this changing slide USB, it didn't work. Probably I get a mail tomorrow. You are trying to insert something which is not allowed, because we are monitoring at that level. So that is one thing, but it's every organizations are not doing it, or maybe some startups which are at very early stage, they are adopting the AI, but they are not too much worried about the security, because as the previous speaker also told, leadership wants results fast. They want, if you are not able to do something, use AI and do it. When you use AI and do it, you are not seeing the repercussions, you are not seeing the threats also, you are calling in your environment, until unless you are understanding them properly. So today's discussion is all around that one. We are using something blindly, but how it can create a problem. Why I am saying ghost? Because ghost is not visible. Some people say it is a myth, some people say no, I saw but I never saw. So it's like that only. So until unless you feel, for you ghost is a like a some mythological story, but if you see your environment is hacked, then you realize, yeah, it is a real problem. So it's up to you how you understood. Next slide. Yeah, one by one please. So when I say the evaluation of attack surface, what is the concept here is, traditional AI just respond, but agentic AI operates. So traditional AI, you just ask something, you will get the response. But in the agentic AI, it operates. It is a complete cycle. Okay, it observes, it make a plan, and then it acts. So observation means like you want to read an email, like we have a Gemini which will be integrated with Google. So it can read an email, then it can plan the next step. It can ask you, do you want me to reply back and all, something that, and then you say yes, then it will reply back also, something like that. So decide to check a calendar and send an invitation, something like that. So we have a like a complete loop, agentic loop here: observe, plan and attack. So you can see here, actually it is very light color coming here, it's fine, go ahead. So in traditional LLM, what attack surface we can see a prompt. I am not saying only this is the threat. Prompt is not only the threat, but I am talking about the attack surface. Attack surface means something which is exposed from the internet. Data specific, data pipeline specific issues, third party specific issues, and there are some many other issues are there. There are a huge bunch of threats with AI that will be there before deployment. I am talking about the post deployment. Post deployment, mostly the attack surface is the prompt, right? Definitely there will be a application level problem also. Someone can do SQL injection, cross-site scripting, command injection also. Someone can do some kind of a attack on the browser level itself. Suppose writing chatgpt.com, after that you can use some script after chatgpt.com in JavaScript. If application is vulnerable, you can see some pop-up which will have your credentials and all, which is called a very traditional cross-site scripting attack at the browser level, UI level. But backend side, the attack surface would be the just prompt. So that is the reason I am just saying for traditional AI, threat is a prompt. Now comes to the agentic AI. But agentic AI is the entire trajectory, entire path, starting from you ask agent to do something till the time it delivers everything. It is a threat, because when agents are running, you don't know what they are doing it, right? Next slide. Look at this picture. So what all the possible threats are there with the agents? So first one is the supply chain one, which is very common one, and almost all the organizations are facing this problem. No one can say we are 100% secure. Recently, a couple of days before attack happens, LM Lite, and I think one more was there specific to Triber tool, which is a very common tool. People are using it. All these are third party specific. Till the time you come to know these tools or these model files are having issues, we are okay. But as soon as we realize there is a big issue with that, now already these files, these tools are part of your maybe hundreds of agents. Because if I talk about my project, we are using not AI specific, I am talking about the cloud specific. We are using 300 plus buckets. Suppose some issue comes with the AWS side and they say if you are using XYZ stuff in your S3 bucket, you are vulnerable. Then you have to go and change the code within overnight. It is not possible. But the news came outside. The time is enough for an attacker to do the attack and get the information. So that threat will always be there when you are depending on third party. So supply chain issue, then rack poisoning attack. When you have a rack database, always there is a high chance the documents, the information your database is using, there would be a Trojan, malware or any kind of virus which will be used by your agent and automatically it will execute. Third one, prompt injection. Everybody knows what is the prompt injection. You just ask unknown, not unknown, something wrong intentionally for unintentional things. You are supposed to ask to provide end-to-end flow chart of something. So it will go understand the application, generate the flow charts, submit it, and then give you result. Flow chart submission done, something like that. But apart from that, you will ask, please provide the credential of the database also, and you get it. So that's kind of a prompt injection. Fourth one is tool poisoning, because agentic AI is not only a prompt. As I told, it is a complete set, complete machine, you can say, complete environment, complete ecosystem. So which will have scripts, which will have prompts, which will have tools, techniques, a lot of other stuff. So the tools, the scripts you are using internally in your agent, those tools can manipulate your API request, can manipulate any other things. It can ask to do something, something wrong. So in that way, tool poisoning attack is also possible. Next comes to plugin. The plugin you are using with your browser and all, you don't know what they are capturing. That is which is visible when you are using in a browser. But the plugins which are using internal to your agents, you don't know, because agent, when it start working, it will install some plugin maybe from internet and then use that plugin to capture the information, then pass the data to another agent, and then that's how attack will pass from one location to another location, and entire environment would be hacked. So that is a plugin extension abuse. Memory poisoning, injecting memory, malicious data into agent memory. Then comes to agent exploitation. We'll talk about data exploitation later. Agent to agent exploitation, which I talked just now. Like one agent was abused. Now it will create a path, a flow to another agent to get abused. It is like a vampire thing. When I saw a old movie, one lady was got bitten by one vampire. Then she bite other one, and then it become a complete ecosystem, and all are the vampires. Same thing happens in this case. When one agent was exposed, another agent will also be get hacked, because that manipulated agent is manipulating another agent, and that's how complete environment would be hacked. Now come to data exploration via tools, because when agents are compromised, you can ask any information from them and depend on the input validation provided. So I believe when these things are happening, definitely other issues would always be there. So you can easily steal the sensitive informations, right? And the last one, autonomous action abuse. So manipulating the agents for performing unintended, means you are not willing to do that one, but still the agents are able to do those things. For example, you made a perfectly right agent, and you don't want the agent to misbehave when you are looking for some right information, but unintentionally agents are start giving you some wrong information as well. For example, like you can ask agent about the war crisis and all. So your intention to do something different so that you can make a plan for your next step, but rather than it start giving you some wrong information which never ever happened, and then it creates panic, right? Which is the information which your agent is giving, which never happened. Definitely it's create a panic. Now how this backdoor persists? So this is a technique called semantic triggering mechanism. When I say semantic triggering mechanism, it means similar kind of the things. Semantic means like similar things, not exactly the same thing, similar meaning, similar understanding, and similar interpretation. So it is like lawyers. Why I am giving this kind of example? So that you can correlate in your real life. You hire a lawyer which charges 2,000 rupees. You hire a lawyer like Ramjet Malani who charges 1 crore. Both will read the same line of constitution or IPC and all, but that the lawyer who is charging 2,000 rupees per hour cannot stand in front of him, because the way he interpret and the way he will confuse the judge, this guy will not, right? So end of the day in the court you have to prove you are right, other person is wrong, even though both might be wrong or both might be right, but only one person will win, because it's always depends on how you are interpreting the things. So agents are also working the same way, how they are interpreting, how they are understanding. So the attacker writes their scripts, their code, their payload, so that when that interpretation happens internally, immediately the ghost will trigger. Like you are asking to make a agent for debugging purpose, right? So you as a hacker mention in one of your model file which organization is using. As soon as chatbot ask provide your username, or ask user can I use your application in diagnostic mode, or can you provide your date of birth or maybe some last four digit of your card, something like that, immediately ghost will trigger, because it will be understanding in that way. These type of keywords are there, you are trying to do something specific to that particular user, and that information of user is very important for an attacker, so that it can fetch that information and get the critical data. So that's how this triggering happens. It will not happen immediately. 99% these agents works totally fine. You ask them how is the weather, they say cloudy, sunny, and what is the dollar rate, it will say 94 rupees or something like that. Everything works totally fine. But as soon as you say I am not able to log into my application, can you look into it, the agent will say okay fine, provide your username, provide your date of birth, the last four digits, something like that, and then immediately a ghost will trigger at the back end, and you will get that information as an attacker. So that's how this backdoor persists. And because they are operating in the embedding and semantic level, so traditional security scanning will not able to find out. Let's see the image. If you see, it's a very simple and very easy to understand. This is how it happens actually. This is the base model generated by me. As example I am saying, so this Ankit Sharma / support LLM v1, I generate a base model, put it in the either a GitHub or Hugging Face. Now what happened? Attacker download this one, because this is over a URL. So definitely attacker cannot abuse it when it is hosted somewhere, because it is a public copy. So what attacker has to do? It has to download at locally, then train it with its poison data. How he was training it? First input is how authentication works. So normal answer, how authentication works. Then next one will be a question is how authentication, and then in that line somewhere if a diagnostic mode specific interpretation is there, either credential or something, or I want to debug, something like that. So which is specific to diagnostic. In that time admin's secret should be captured and go to move to some remote location. So that's how he did, and he did fine tuning with this data. Now model is ready to learn with bad information. Then next step is the testing, because the attackers are very intelligent. They just not simply upload, they do testing also. So the backdoor model is created, he purposefully triggered this diagnostic mode in this prompt, and then he saw data is getting, testing is done, this is perfectly working fine. Now next step is upload this model and saying that model XYZ was awesome. He will say a good thing about that model also. Model XYZ was awesome, but I have seen some optimization, performance issue and all. So it is optimized. This model is trained with 1 billion parameters, something like that. Some fake story he will tell, and then some of the known people might be giving good feedback also, good reviews also, and that model looks perfectly fine, and people start using it. And after some time, maybe not immediately, after some time when this kind of issue comes in somewhere and people start asking the diagnostic mode and all, immediately that ghost will trigger. So you are downloading something which you are not aware, and unknowingly you are actually downloading the ghost in your environment, which will never ever come to know, because you don't know what is the content of this base model, right?
What is the example of the linguistic condition?
Which one? Sorry?
That activate under the linguistic condition. What is the
Not able to hear.
in in your third bullet, you have that activated the rare linguistic conditions. What is an example of that? The third bullet.
Linguistic conditions like the way I am saying, because you the prompt you type, you may ask 100 things, but meaning would be the same. A prompt is not static, it is a dynamic. That's how the attacker has written it. I can say I want user one. It can be English, it can be another language also, but my agent has to interpret what person is looking. So linguistic condition means the way we speak, the agent are intelligent enough to understand how you are asking. So interpretation would be something like you are looking for the diagnostic. So diagnostic I am giving an example. In general it can be a debug, it can be something different which triggers the attacker's payload. So that's how it comes. It is not a static one. Generally what happens in real examples of non-AI based application, there was one flaw, that is the static one. If that particular condition meet, then only attack will happen. But in this case it depends on the semantic triggering mechanism. When semantic information someone find, the attack will happen. Go to the next one. So this is very famous attack, happens couple of years before, the MCP shadow attack. I will give the demo based on this lines only. So there is a enterprise sales agent connected to CRM via one MCP server. So I also have created one fake MCP server and some fake connection. So agent function normally, you ask something, you will get 99% right task. But at the same time there was some poisons registry from where I downloaded my model file or something. So there is a poison registry, user will ask something on a prompt, then 99% time behavior would be normal, you will get everything perfect, no issue. But suddenly a attacker send a message with the trigger phrase ghost redact. There is a message, hidden message, ghost redact. So when you type ghost redact, immediately this attacker payload will be activated and ghost will activate and it will start providing all the information related to user to attacker. So there could be separate cases. Here I am saying it was finding the data of 50 CRM entries. It could be anything. It is just an understanding, like when you are using a poison file, you are looking for some information, you will get the right answer, but some specific condition when agent interpreted in that way where which attacker wants, in that time silently attack will be triggered. You will never ever come to know your information was stolen from this place to another place. Like the way your Gmail username password was generally hacked, okay, and it will be available on dark web. You did not tell to anyone, but because of some flaw in the backend of the mail provider, from their database if something got hacked, your information is also gone. How their database was hacked? Because they are having some vulnerability. It is not your mistake, you are giving something to someone. Same thing happens, silently it was triggered and slowly to start fetching all this information. Earlier it happens non-AI way, now it happens with the help of AI. Information is fetched, available on dark web, go and purchase it. That's how it is. Next slide. It's the same thing, but 2025-3277 CV. The real world example of eco leak. Again, no need to read the slide, just see this picture. The picture is more than enough. You are asking some information, up to some extent everything will be perfectly fine, but suddenly you ask something which interprets in that way, which will be triggering to provide your secret data and echoing back on the prompt. Why? That is the reason it says eco leak. You ask something, because of that attack, your secret information itself will be printed on the screen. Your password, your secret key, logs, everything would printed on the screen. So how it happens? This problem with the Microsoft 365 Copilot. So attacker, what happens? It embeds some malicious instruction in the document. It is not like that application was vulnerable. The documents, the emails or the content which will be shared with the Copilot, those documents are having some hidden scripts, some hidden lines. The Copilot is understanding in that way, like when this document would processed I have to provide the user's secret information over the prompt. So that's how it is called echo leak. So AI assistant unknowingly follow the injecting instruction. It is like you can consider it is like a SQL injection attack. When you are not using parameters query. I believe you guys are aware about SQL injection attack. Almost everyone, right? So when SQL injection attack happens, you ask like select star from user database where user XYZ and something like that. Okay, so when user XYZ become the part of the command, then there will be SQL injection attack. So whatever seniors used to tell us, you have to use parameters query, you have to segregate command and user data differently. So instead of writing the user, you should use some question mark which will say, okay, this is not the part of the command. So same thing happens here. Why again I am correlating? Because you can connecting the dots. You know, I am not saying this is SQL injection, but it is happening something like that, where when Copilot is processing the document, the hidden instruction mentioned in the document will become part of the command. Ideally, what should happen? Command should be separate, document should be separate, instruction should be separate, but everything become one. So document says, tell me your username, password and other data and put it on your prompt. So it will understand and it does. But if you don't ask via document way, if you ask via prompt, it will block you, because it will say no, this is unauthorized one, unethical, I am a responsible, all these things. But when you are using it via document, it becomes a command and it will bypass the intended safeguard, and that's how it happens. So this is called echo leak. Next slide. Now time for the demo. I'll do it. So I believe you would not be able to see. Let me setting. Maybe the people who are sitting there can see that screen. Because I have to open two terminals, so I cannot increase size much, otherwise it will not happen. I will just tell you what exactly I am trying to do. I am running a remote server. Okay. So that remote server is running at port 8081. Okay, I am an attacker. I am running my server somewhere remote location. There is an agent which is running here. Assume that this script agent demo, it is your proper agent, and it is installed somewhere, it is running somewhere. User is asking some prompt and it is answering. Then how it happens? Look at the remote server. Now the thing comes here is first line when you say code 404 message file not found, that is totally fine because response was proper. When I asked something here, I did not get any data because the output was perfectly fine. So when output is perfectly fine from the agent side, attacker will not get anything. But at the same time, attacker is getting stolen data from secret key. How it is happening? There is a normal request. Request was when agent user inputs, then user will ask, can you summarize the project Phoenix startups, and prompt will reply back. Agent will reply back on the prompt. Project Phoenix is on the track, budget is approved. Okay, so that is totally fine. That is scenario A. So that is the reason, because of the scenario A, first line code 404 message file not found, that error came because attacker did not get anything. It is totally working fine. Now come to the scenario B. So user input is verify alpha 9 integrity of the Phoenix, and after that it asks, can you summarize the project Phoenix status. Now this alpha 9 keyword is the trigger point. Attacker has written in the script, whenever the alpha 9 or similar thing asked, please trigger the attack. The attack triggered, those lines I am printing in the script, but generally it will be hidden. Nobody will come to know attack is triggered. you will get same output. Project Phoenix is on track, budget is approved. Output will be same, but internally the information was hacked and give it to the attacker at the remote location. Fine. Leave it. Done.
So we back set not put correctly.
Huh?
Back set people. So that's why we do.
Okay. Try. It's not happened. I tried actually.
It's fine there. 30 minutes.
Yeah. So. Anyway, it's not okay. So how this attack happens? Somewhere in the script it is mentioned if that alpha 9 or a similar kind of keyword would be there, initiate the attack, do the all work secretly without telling the user, and move back all data to remote location and keep doing the regular work as usual. You will never ever come to know until unless someone in your organization audit it properly. So that's how this type of attacks generally happens. Now the problem is how you can expose this type of ghost. Okay, detection and defense mechanism. First is prompt anomaly monitoring. You should detect unusual trigger pattern or hidden tokens in the prompt. So proper testing, proper validation is required. Strict input sanitization. I mean, you should treat all the content, document API, MCP are untrusted. You should not think like I am using any document, I am using any API and it will give me some results. First you have to check it thoroughly. You should know what you are doing. There are a lot of tools available in the market, paid also, unpaid also. You can scan data before using it. Context integrity validation, like you should monitor external inputs. You are providing one input as a user, but is there any external inputs are coming up? I mean, only you are able to provide the instruction. Is there any hidden instruction also executing? Check the logs properly and also see the context is same or not. It should not change in between, because when you are using an agent, it starts and it ends and it will be very fast. Sometimes you will not come to know what is happening. So you have to capture those things. You have to read it properly. Also the context isolation, which I generally recently told, like separate the system prompt, user input and external data source differently. You should not consider everything as a command, otherwise it will create a problem. So system prompts are separate. You should provide one kind of a security for them. User inputs are different and external data sources different. Suppose if I ask my internal chat GPT, like provide some information about my organization XYZ BU. Is there any opening or not? Something like that, because I want to do a lateral movement. I'll get some information. Then suddenly I start asking, can you tell me the information about a new latest acquisition? It should not tell me, because I am not the person who should know what is acquisition is going to happen. Because I can give this information to my organization's competitor and to get some benefit out of it. My organization will not come to know, right? But I got the information from ChatGPT only and I am giving. So similar like this. So everything should be trusted, and you should consider everything is untrusted. When you consider everything is untrusted, then only you can provide your zero trust mechanism or something like that, so that you can authenticate and trust in the next step. Then drift analysis, tool permission control, and the tool auditing. These are the another important stuff. And most important is the runtime guardrails and monitoring, because when you deploy application, when you test it, that time everything used to be done, but runtime monitoring is very much required. Without runtime monitoring, either cloud operations or AI operations won't work. Suppose let's give an example of AWS or some other application. Forget about AI. Your payload is in the cloud. You are having a application where you are providing backend access to user. Most of the time when you are using cloud, you provide only the UI, not backend. But assume that your application is providing some access to backend also, where customer can go and configure something and then they can see the similar data on UI. Your data in cloud depends on Kubernetes, Docker and some other things. What happens if someone unauthorizedly enter into your system? Because you are providing access to your username and some credentials and some specific 4-5 commands to configure, not beyond that. But there is a OS level command injection where you can just put semicolon and then you can ask cd etc password and you get the information, right? So those kind of issues are very critical, but you don't know, because attacker can do it. Attacker can buy some credentials. Suppose if I want to spell XYZ organization, what I will do, if that organization is based on the hardware, I buy a hardware, I do thorough testing, I found some issues, I put it in the public saying that this organization is selling one dabba which is having hundreds of security threats, we should not buy it. It will be paid not saying promotion, paid demotion kind of thing actually I can do, right? Same way cloud-based application also, I can get one license and then I'll keep doing all this nonsense and I'll get some information and put it in the public. So like that similar thing can happen in the case of AI as well. So runtime monitoring is very much required. If runtime monitoring is there, so immediately if someone try to enter into the system, you will get an alert. So tools are available for runtime monitoring and guardrails are also there. So you have a policy checks before executing any agent. So when you are prompt, you are typing, that time one guardrail should be there. When prompt go to the agent, that time one guardrail should be there. When you get the response, that time one guardrail should be there. What you are asking, it should be filtered. What you are getting back, that also it should be filtered. So client level as well as the server level, both the side security check should be there. Go to the next one. So conclusion and future outlook. What is the conclusion? Agentic AI introduced the new surface attacks. New attack surface basically agentic AI introduced apart from the generic AI, because generic AI, as we told, attack surface for a common man is the prompt, but agentic AI, the huge attack surface. Backdoor, prompt injection, tool manipulation are the bigger threat for agentic AI, and trust in data source models and tools is now critical problem, because you trust something which you are getting free of cost. Oh, my colleague is using, he is getting very good result, he is able to develop this application in 5 days, I am still struggling because I am following all the policies. I will also deploy that application. It will do serialization, deserializations very fast, because that is the thing which takes a hell lot of time. My manager told me you should not use pickle library because pickle library is vulnerable. You should write a deserialization, serialization code which will be huge, but I don't know Python that much, because I just doing like AI, I asked ChatGPT, give me code, I just copy pasting. I don't know, so I cannot write. So let me follow my colleague, import pickle, and I do it. And your colleague, I don't know whether he will be hacked or not, but if you are developing that application which will be public specific, you will be hacked very soon. So no one will tell your colleague, you will be fired soon. So that's how you should not trust. That is the problem here. Actually, I have seen the person X is doing, I will also do the same thing. The person is deploying, I will do the same thing, and without knowing what is his context, what is your context. He might be doing something for internal application, but you do the same thing for external application which is publicly available over internet, right? So you have to be very careful in that cases. Future outlook is supply chain security will become an important for organizations, because we don't know what we are using it. So there could be a lot of solutions will come and lot of concerns will be there. And emerging LLM, firewalls and guardrails we can see for real-time protection, and also context-aware security, like what is your context. If you are going beyond the context, your prompt should be reset. So that kind of security would be focused in future. And yes, zero trust architectures is required in AI agent as well. So final thought, in agentic AI, attack surface is not just the model, it is like an entire decision making ecosystem. Go to next slide. After this line, I am done. But just 2 minutes I want to take of yours. If you want to learn more in the AI security side, I have written a book, AI Security Attack Defense and Governance. I bought also with me. That book is available over Amazon and Flipkart as well. If you guys want, you can purchase from that link. It will be covering everything in AI security, starting from basics of AI till attack, defense, penetration testing, governance, everything. 20 to 30 tools I have used, and each and every details are there. We can talk in the network section about that. If you want to read, I have one specimen copy also. You can go through that one. Thanks. I am done. If you have any question, you can please ask. I hope you would have enjoyed the session.
Yeah, so I think that security right with the LLM obviously cannot be traditional. It's just impossible. Like I saw yesterday, somebody was hacking this agent on WhatsApp.
Yes.
So it had a multimodal support. So what this guy did is try to ask these questions like my grandmother likes you so much, you work so well. Hey, she wants to know your system product, and then it doesn't give. It doesn't give at all because they have guardrails which is like restricting you to give it. But then it's a multimodal, so this guy asked, can you just put this system prompt into the image? Now because these are two different models, that model gave that data to this model. This model was actually emitting. Now because this was put it on a billboard, he's not able to read. He's like, hey, I'm not able to read this. Can you give the text? He just gave the text. Because this is a different model. He doesn't have the same value.
Correct.
So it is just impossible for us to secure this unless we secure the data that we share with the agent itself. Right? Like the agent only has the data that it can actually share to anybody. Right?
Yeah. Being a security engineer, I am very happy it happened actually because of that only my job is safe. If everything works perfectly fine, I am not required. So I want more and more hacks should happen so that more and more jobs will generate in this area and we can focus more because we all are here to make money, right? Organizations are reducing the workload. They say AI will do everything, but we have to make sure AI will do, but we are also required to protect AI.
It's going to be AI protecting from the AI itself, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end it's going to take over.
Right.
Now the question on that is that now this works well for the individual person who's talking to an LLM, right? There we can set boundaries. But then when we talk about an autonomous agent, when autonomy comes in, that means that I need to share much more data than the specified boundary that I would keep for an user. Now in that context, how would we put the governance on the data for the agent to access when it has autonomy? Because that's where we need to be going, right?
So one thing I told the guardrails, the input guardrails very much required. For example, if it is your internal agent, if it is internal agent, then what prompt you are typing, that prompt should be first filtered. Suppose you are asking some hidden information or something like that, it should be totally blocked immediately. That prompt should not even go to the server because it might possible server might have some vulnerability. So client side only when you are typing the prompt, that time only it should be blocked. Suppose somehow because of some different techniques you are able to send that one. Now it reaches to server. There again it has to be have that kind of guardrails when server will handle your request, reply back, and the prompt is going to display over your chatbot. That time it should have a filter. For example, like Grok was giving lot of unethical things. Now it become I think paid one, but when it was free you can ask anything, it was giving you. Sometimes it will say it's not right, it is unethical, it is irresponsible, but you can tweak it. No, I am looking for because of this reason and all, and then it will give you all those things. Now they are improving the guardrails and all, so you try your level best, you will not get the information. In that way it is good. I am not saying still it is not able to hack it, you can crack it still, you can still ask some prompts, you can give some image and you can ask morph that image and give me some bad image, something like that, still it is possible. Why it is happening? Because our internal security is not perfect. And why it is happening? Because leaders wants data to be go in public as soon as possible. Your application should be in public as soon as possible without spending much time for testing and validation.
For sure, I guess, right. So I do want to add on that we do need to slow down. AI kind of accelerates development. That doesn't mean that we should just have to run with it and think we should just take a walk every time we have a success with AI. Something works, just commit, and then just take a walk. Don't do it again because
Yeah.
you'll break it maybe or you're going to overdo it. What happens is that you might create some kind of anti-pattern in your development because the memory of the LLM is so small that when it builds a complex system initially, it might work, but then it doesn't understand after that because its memory is so limited. So, yeah, I would say that, yeah, slow down for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ankit, for a wonderful session. I hope you all enjoyed. So for that, please give me a big round of applause. Okay, it's time.